World, Payton Otterdahl. Three-time Olympic champion, two-time world champion, five-time Drake Relays champion, indoor and outdoor world record holder, number one in the world, Crouser. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your field for the world shot put series. Here we go, WSPS. A little bit of shot putting and a little bit of WWE.
So there's our competitors, Dan. This is going to be a lot of fun. Now, this is also the first time for all of these athletes to compete in a format just like this.
Well, it's interesting. I got a chance to talk to some of the competitors yesterday. They came out here. They got walked through. And we're gonna, as we go along, we're gonna introduce people to just kind of the different aspects of what makes shot putting fun. I think what Ryan Crouser wanted to do by creating this was to introduce people to the athleticism, to the power, and just how graceful and what it really takes to be a good shot putter. And so we're gonna see a lot of different levels of shot putting today, from really the average collegiate thrower to the best of the best.
All right, we're gonna bring in a third member of our broadcast team. Stam Scarvelis is with us. And Stam, talk about the consistency and really the longevity these athletes are going to need for this competition.
Right, so we're used to that standard 3-and-3 throw that we get in a normal competition. Now we're challenging the athletes to throw upwards of 10, maybe 12 times. So it's going to be interesting to see when these athletes will decide to open up and how they'll kind of pace themselves and how they throw. A 60% throw, will that give them 60 feet, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be really exciting to watch how these guys strategize through the competition.
We get started with our first thrower of the competition as Tate Deerking out of bounds on his first attempt, so a miss for him. And Stam, make sure that you keep everybody focused and energized there in that thrower's pit area. And so Tate Deerking from Simpson College, our first thrower, and it'll be Blake Willie out of Grandview University, the senior, that will be our second thrower.
Well, if we go back just I was going to say back to Deerking, Tate Deerking, he also plays football, outside linebacker there at Simpson College. And, what's interesting, a lot of these athletes, as you get out of high school, you either decide, you can do both certainly in high school, but it's very difficult to play two sports in college, and it's nice to see some guys still doing it. You see some maybe wide receivers or defensive backs, but you rarely see shot putters turn around and throw and play outside linebacker.
Seeing a 16-pound ball get thrown over 70 feet is very physically impressive, and I want to put that in perspective today. So we've got the 40-foot line. We're going to work our way out, hopefully to 70, maybe a little beyond. Yeah, last man standing. Got the title belt back here. For those people up top, they couldn't see it, but. Yeah, thank you to everyone for being a part of the inaugural WSPS.
Ryan Crouser, ladies and gentlemen, your indoor and outdoor world record holder.
All right, let's take a look at the distances that will hit here as these athletes will progress through different lengths as Grandview's Blake Willie gets ready to throw. Here's a look at the progressions the athletes will be aiming for.
Well, this is pretty cool that we get a chance to see a graphic like this, but there you see the 40-foot line, and you see the 50 and the 60, and the athletes will select on the distance in which they want to come in. Once the line gets clear out to 67 feet, it goes up by 3 feet increments. But once over 70 feet, it goes up by 1 foot increments. So just like you said, Brad, it is a last man standing format. And I had a chance to talk to Jordan Geist, who we'll see a little bit later. But he said he fully expects to take upwards of 10 throws. He does not want to take more than that. So these athletes want to come in at a distance where they think they can achieve the mark and then move on to 2 or 3 more distances and take really less than 12, 13, 14, 15 throws.
And track officials, Dan, usually try and stay out of the limelight. But here, they're getting a little more animated. Their arms are going up as if it's a good field goal in football for a good throw. And we've got 2 straight good throws as Blake Willie, Cooper Cerise from Drake with successful throws, and Bryce Ruland. And now Spencer Kessel from Northern Iowa in the ring. A conference champion and a successful throw for Spencer Kessel.
Well, and you see the 2 lines. You see the 40-foot line, you see the 50-foot line, and he easily cleared that. So now he can advance to the next. He can advance to the next line. And what's interesting about that, though, is once you enter the competition, you're allowed to pass. But if you pass a distance, you cannot go back and pick up the former distance. So it's a lot like the pole vault. It's a lot like the high jump in that regard, is that bar, once it begins to go up, it never descends.
Cam Jones, a successful throw at 40 feet, a senior at Iowa State University. He was at the U.S. Olympic Trials qualifier this past summer. And so successful throws there at 50 feet, and now the Olympic athletes are all passing. They're going to start at 60 feet, Dan, because as you mentioned, right, the number of throws may factor in.
Well, and that'll be a breaking point for a lot of these young athletes who haven't achieved 60 feet. But imagine, you know, coming to an event like this and having a 56 or 57, 58-foot personal best. I can't think of a better time to really get up, really get energized, and really get focused to maybe surpass a personal best. And what's interesting as well is that we see out there on the field, they're using the old style.
Yeah.
They're using the old style yardage markers. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you gotta love those. But let's go through. We go through some of the arm signals here as we get going. But let's hear first from the champ himself.
Hey everyone, Ryan Crouser here to explain the World Shot Put Series rules. The rules in the ring are the same as they are in any competition. The athlete has to make the throw from inside the ring, can't touch outside at any part during the throw, has to exit out the back of the ring after the implement has landed. The exciting changes coming with WSPS are in regards to the format. So instead of the classic 6-throw comp, we now have an increasing line format. Each athlete has 2 attempts at a given line. If they clear that line, they gain 2 more attempts at the next line. The line progressively gets farther until there's no athletes left. Last athlete standing is your champion. The total sum of misses is used to determine place. So it's the farthest line cleared and then all your misses combined. After 2 attempts, an athlete is eliminated, but each athlete in the elite division has 1 challenge flag. An athlete can throw a challenge flag after they've been eliminated to be granted 1 additional attempt. It does come at a cost. If an athlete fails on a challenge flag attempt, it costs them 2 additional misses. And athletes only have 1 challenge flag that they can throw during the competition. A field referee will signal a successful attempt or a short attempt. If the line is hit or the implement lands too close to call, that mark will be held and we will actually pull the chains to determine was the mark far enough. So the head official makes the final call based on did it clear the line, was it a safe throw? You'll see a successful clearance or a missed attempt. So hope you guys enjoy the new format. I'm excited for it.
All right, here is a look at Blake Willie, Grandview University, the senior. He has a degree in kinesiology. Will be pursuing his master's in athletic training, plans on coaching right now in his senior season of throwing the shot and just short on a 60-foot toss.
Well, and I said this is going to be a breaking point for a lot of these athletes who have not quite achieved this early season. But a lot of these athletes have personal bests just underneath here. But there you see the mark that they have to surpass, 60 feet, and they're getting some great encouragement from the fans right now.
Cooper Cerise, a missed attempt on that. So that is 1 strike for both Willie and Cerise. And now Bryce Ruland, freshman from the University of Iowa. 3-time state champion in the discus and just short on his first attempt at 60 feet.
I'll tell you what, though, what an exciting young freshman Bryce Rulin is. He's going to be a big-time scorer for the Hawkeyes, but he's a better discus thrower than a shot putter, believe it or not.
Spencer Kessel, a PR over 60 feet, and that one is just short. So one foul for Kessel, and now Cam Jones. He's thrown 66 feet. Kind of reflected back to his high school days. He's like, I used to throw that 12-pound shot, but 52 feet. Now I'm throwing this 16-pound shot. 66 feet is his PR, but a fail on this 60 feet mark. And so now the professionals will enter the ring as we begin with Nick Ponzio.
Well, Nick Ponzio, he goes by the social media handle of Chubby Diamonds, and he wears it nicely. But this guy loves his food and he loves his training. And he'll go over the 60-foot line on a first attempt.
So Ponzio, the three-time Italian national champion, you see another look at his throw and knew it right away. And Jordan Geist is good on 60 feet for his first toss.
Well, and a number of these athletes we're going to see in the outdoor competition, but Jordan Geist we're going to also see in the hammer competition here as well. He's an outstanding hammer thrower, 247 feet earlier this season. So Jordan Geist, a fantastic triple threat.
Chuk Enekwechi with the successful throw. As Enekwechi becoming a regular at the Drake relays. To Josh Awotunde, world ranked 18th. And U.S. indoor champion bronze medalist. And a good toss.
I guess if the chalk flies, it's fair because he was right on that line. But you see, they're not measuring the individual throws, and that's what makes this competition so much different than what you see at a normal track meet. Achieve the mark, and then go to the next level. And it's, I think, a lot less pressure on these competitors as well. They're in a really friendly environment, although it's pretty hot in this field house. But they got the crowd behind them, and just look how good these professional shot putters really are.
Yeah, really shows the power and the strength. Tripp Piperi, in the last month and a half, U.S. indoor shot put champion. His first title, and it was a round 6 winner. And then went to the Worlds and claimed bronze at the World Indoors in China. And
Roger Steen. I was going to say, Steen, he's a powerful guy, but look how simple he gets it done with technique. And I think one of the things that Ryan Crouser also wanted to show the public is just the power of these athletes. He said every one of these athletes can snatch 300 pounds. Every one of these athletes can pound clean, 400 pounds. They have 500-pound benches, and they can all squat 600 pounds. That is athletic.
Rajindra Campbell with the successful toss. He was the bronze medalist at the Paris Olympics this last summer, was 9th at the Indoor World Championships. And the only lefty, I believe, in this group as well. Here's Payton Otterdahl. Toss for Payton Otterdahl is good to advance to the next round, which will be 65 feet. So Payton, world ranking is number 4. Number 1 in the world is Ryan Crouser. Going into the Drake Relays Athletics Hall of Fame this year. And the inventor and promoter of the World Shot Put Series and its debut event and debut toss is a good one.
Well, this first competition of this outdoor season, he's leaving the hat on. And here's the thing, if that hat were to fly off and go out of the circle, it would be a foul. So he is taking a little bit of a chance, but look how simply, and you can see he's a little bit rusty. This isn't the Ryan Crouser we saw at the end of last season. This is his first outdoor competition of the year.
So Blake Willie from Grandview, his second attempt at 60 feet is short, and so Blake Willie will be eliminated. And now Cooper Cerise. It's kind of a home track, home ring advantage for Cooper Cerise here at Drake University. And stepping out of the ring, that will be it for Cooper Cerise. His second strike, and the junior is out.
Well, this actually was a really good-looking throw by Cooper Cerise, but he can't stay in the ring, and all the same rules apply when it comes to fouls. If you leave the ring, then it will be an automatic disqualification.
Bryce Rulin from the University of Iowa, short on his second attempt, and so the world champion in the discus for the U20 World Championships is out. And to the University of Northern Iowa we go. Spencer Kessel, the sophomore and Iowa native, lets it fly. And we're going to bring the chains out for this one. This one is close, Dan.
I love it.
And so we're going to bring the sticks out. We'll take another look here for UNI's Spencer Kessel.
Well, Kessel did a really good job of saving that throw as well, but if this were chalk out there, would it fly? Slow motion, and you know what? I think it's going to come up just a few inches short. Oh, although it might have rolled onto that line, but I think he came up just a few inches short.
You see it right there, just a few inches behind the 60 feet mark. And so Cam Jones now, the senior, 5-time All-American, second team All-American, indoors in the weight throw and the shot put. Both in 2024 in outdoors and indoors. Cam Jones with the toss, stayed in the ring, and it's good. Cam Jones advances.
Well, and he's already thrown over 60 feet this season. He's thrown a 62-footer, 62.5 this year. But look at this crowd get up for Cam Jones. Nice angle of release, easy to stay in. And as soon as it left his hand, these guys know if it's a good throw. As soon as it leaves their hands, they know they got good pressure on the ball. And Cam Jones successful.
All right, we'll be back with more. 65 feet is coming up. Cam Jones advances with the pros here at the inaugural 2025 World Shot Put Series.
Dear future, we're on a mission to make small-town America bigger than anyone ever dreamed. We know you're coming for us fast and that you can easily change the tech game overnight. That's why at MediaCom, we're always pushing the limits, increasing speeds, improving reliability, working around the clock to monitor the health and security of our network. We're on a mission, and we'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. Sincerely, MediaCom.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
Dear future, we haven't met yet. We don't know what you look like. But at MediaCom, we think about it every day. And we'll say this, if we keep working as hard as we have the past 3 decades, if we keep adding miles of fiber, if we keep advancing our technology, if we keep raising the bar and raising each other up, we won't just be ready for you, we'll be leading the way. Sincerely, MediaCom.
Cooper, Can you tell me a little bit about how it felt to be throwing in this environment, being your home school, and that advantage?
Yeah, honestly, it was a super awesome opportunity. I'm so glad I was able to compete at this event, and hosting this at the Drake Relays is just super cool for us, and I'm glad we can showcase this here.
I mean, how much did the environment of your teammates and the hometown support go into your performance today?
Oh, it was awesome, and I'm glad I had to have some friends out here, some family, and just most of all the community of Drake. So I'm just so thankful for this opportunity, and awesome. It was an awesome time.
Cooper, best of luck the rest of the weekend.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
What do you think of that?
All right, thank you very much, Stan. Cooper Cerise, one of the college-level athletes, and we have one college-level athlete that advanced to have a chance to throw 65 feet. Cam Jones, the senior from Iowa State, a Marion, Iowa native, competed at the Drake Relays for Cedar Rapids Kennedy and short of 65 feet on toss number 1. And Dan, this is a unique event, right? There's commercial breaks. It kind of lengthens the break for these throwers.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is these athletes are used to a rotation. They're used to time limits and a rotation, whether the commercials roll or not. But now these athletes are asked to hold off on a throw, step up when asked to. So you got to be ready for that. It's a little bit different than what I think these athletes are definitely used to.
Nick Ponzio's first attempt at 65. Did he stay in the ring? He did not stay in the ring, so this will be a foul on Ponzio.
Well, let's have a look. Oh, there you see left foot out. Left foot out there, left of the toe boards. But that was a call by our official, TJ Crater.
So Jordan Geist is now in the ring, world ranking number 9 in the shot put. And a good throw, yes, beyond the line, and he stayed in the ring. So Geist will advance. After this 65 feet, will advance the line to 68 feet for the next round.
Well, that was a good throw by Jordan Geist down the left side, but he found his line of drive there late in his rotation.
Chuk Enekwechi with a solid throw, and it is good. So Chuk advances. We'll see the throw as he stays in the ring.
Chuk, he backed off that one a little bit, but you should have seen the sigh of relief as that thing landed over the 65-foot line. It's starting to get tense in here.
So we now advance to Josh Awotunde. And we got 2 approvals. Josh Awotunde, good on his first toss at 65 feet. And Dan, we had Nick Ponzio with a scratch on his first toss. If it would come down to a tiebreaker, if that final athlete, it comes down to a tiebreaker, it could be total number of misses throughout the entire event. So Tripp Piperi, the scream. Ooh. And with ease, a successful toss. Wow.
Tripp Piperi just sent notice to this squad. He bombs one out there, and look how solid he is at the finish of this throw. So much patience, so much balance. That was a 71-footer.
Yeah. And he pointed at Ryan Crouser as he walked back amongst the athletes. He's talking to him. He's saying, I'm ready to go. And so is Roger Steen, who's in the circle. Good toss right on the line. We may measure this one. Looks like we're calling for the chains. So Roger Steen, world ranking number 7, 32 years old. His season best, 2162 meters. What do you think?
That's going to be I think that's going to be a successful throw. But Roger Steen's, he's no stranger to the relays here. It's nice to have him in the house. But 37 years old, nobody throws a shot put that late in their career. Absolute Iron Man of throwing. question is, they going to get the Kansas City Chiefs a mark, or are they going to get a Las Vegas Raiders mark here?
They're going Chiefs marks. I see hands in the air. A good toss for Roger Steen on his first attempt at 65 feet, so he'll advance to 68.
Well, while we see it right here, we get to look at the very unique circle, okay? Most of the time the circles are just concrete outdoor circles, or you get indoors, it's just smooth wood. But a lot of the indoor circles, Ryan Crouser and his dad Mitch were telling me that they designed this to just slow the athletes down a little bit, have a little bit more control. And that ring is a little bit grittier than you're going to find in an outdoor circle.
And you see that red triangle up front? I'm told that's the power zone. If the landing foot is within the center of that red triangle, the athlete is in a good spot. That one right on the line for Rajindra Campbell. World ranking number 5 at the moment, and that is his highest world ranking of his career. And here's another look at it.
Well, Campbell just didn't get everything behind there. The shot put was a little bit ahead of his lower body, so he wasn't able to really load up on there. Just like the golf swing. Just like the golf swing, that lower body wants to lead. That's where the power comes from. And anybody asks you where the power comes from in the throws, it comes from the ground. You got to have great contact with the ground. You got to be pushing from the ground into the implements. But that'll be a first attempt miss for Campbell. I don't know if I might ask for a remark there. That was awfully close.
So Payton Otterdahl in the ring, hat backwards, lets it fly, clears it easily, and the ring. 2 thumbs up, successful toss for Payton Otterdahl. Was 4th at the Paris Olympics. 2-time Olympian. And his PR came 1 year ago in this building. The Drake Fieldhouse, the 2024, had a team shot put showcase. And Ryan Crouser, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, is in the ring.
65 feet with the goal.
Crouser lets it fly and advances it on his first throw.
He's toying with him. Crouser steps in. Look how easy he just blasts it over the 65-foot line. And he hasn't started to move to the slide technique. See his footwork. He's right in the power zone. I love that power zone because I used to love the video game, the track and field video game.
Cam Jones' second toss will eliminate Cam Jones, the senior from Iowa State. The Iowa native, 5-time All-American, who was at the U.S. Olympic trials last summer. More to come from Cam Jones, just not tonight.
Well, and I love this because you get a chance to see the difference between a good college thrower and the next level, your elite, your Olympic development.
This is Nick Ponzio. World ranking number 22. That looked right on the line. I think we need to measure this one, Dan. They're calling for the chains. Nick Ponzio stepped out of the ring on his first toss.
What do you think, fans? Did he get it or not?
And that one looked like landed right on the line.
Well, and Ponzio, he doesn't enjoy the height that a Payton Otterdahl or a Ryan Crouser has. He's a little bit shorter, a little bit more compact.
Oh, one chain length. And we got a challenge flag. We're using the challenge flag. So each athlete gets one challenge flag. Can we challenge the second toss? He'll have to throw right away. And so he's waiting for his shot. So they ruled it did not clear the tape line. And so Nick Ponzio right back into the ring to utilize his challenge flag, because not everybody gets that Kansas City Chiefs treatment that you're talking about, Dan.
Well, he has thrown over 70 feet as an all-time personal best. But like I said, this is early season for these guys, and 65 feet this early in the season I think would be an all-time best seasonal opener for him.
Ponzio looked good in the ring, and that is good. He's moving on.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the benefit of taking another turn right after a failed attempt is you know exactly the change that you need to make. You know the technical cue that you need to make, and you don't have to wait for 8 other guys to take a throw. And as soon as it left his hand, boom, finger up, he knew it was good.
So Rajindra Campbell, final competitor here at 65 feet. We have 8 moving on. Will we have 9 attempting the 68 feet mark? Campbell clears it with ease. Whoa.
Wow.
So maybe those early misses are just athletes trying to conserve some energy for the later rounds, Dan.
Whew, but that was a great connection by the Olympic bronze medalist. Look at this distance.
Rajindra Campbell advances. 9 professional athletes continue when we return.
I live in Greater Des Moines because I can grow my career
and enjoy my family. I live in Greater Des Moines for the great neighborhoods and the low cost of living.
Because it's family friendly and fun.
Because it's where I found my flow.
Because we support local businesses.
Because the happy hours are the happiest.
Because the trails connect.
And the water is great.
I live in DSM because of the big city feel and the small town friendliness.
Find your greater in Greater Des Moines.
If, like most people, you love your phone, like can't eat, can't sleep, can't not have it by your side.
My phone.
Or you'll be totally lost, kinda love, but you don't love your big cell phone bill or spotty reception. Check out Mediacom Mobile. Unbeatable nationwide coverage on a reliable 5G mobile network. Plus, we've got some really incredible prices, too. Keep the phone you love, but love it even more. Mediacom Mobile.
Welcome back to the inaugural World Shot Put Series, the first event. It's launched inside historic Drake Fieldhouse, and it's all part of Drake Relays Week, as you see college athletes that competed here in this World Shot Put Series alongside some professional athletes. And speaking of professional athletes, Roger Steen was our first professional athlete to ask for a review, and standing by is Stam Scarvelis with more with Roger Steen. Stam?
Roger, talk me through how that felt. You went across the ring and the ring went with you.
Well, I felt something goofy because I got to the front and I felt really congested, and I'm like, there had to be something goofy that Ryan came over. Did you feel the board move? I felt something. I didn't know what it was, and I looked at it, and it's about 4 or 5 inches back. I'm like, oh, man.
So then after that, you asked for a review. How'd that process go for you when they pulled out the steel?
Yeah, so like they got everything out. I'm like, I mean, what are you going to do about this extra 5 inches? Like, because I pushed the board back, and so from where it was still the same distance, so I got past it over the line, but like it just didn't look like it because the board moved back a little ways. But hopefully got it figured out now and just working out the kinks. It's the first
working out
one.
the kinks,
yeah.
And you are all clear to go and carrying on through for the rest of the series.
You bet, it's going to be a fun one. Come on, pumped!
Steen is pumped. He's ready for this 68 feet round. We get it started with Nick Ponzio. Had 2 strikes last round at 65 feet, but used the challenge flag, got an extra throw. And so out of challenge flags now is Nick Ponzio in his first attempt at 68 feet.
Well, and I'm glad he continues in the competition because he is an absolute fan favorite.
He's in the circle, but just short on the mark, so failed attempt at 68 feet. And Jordan Geist will be up next.
Well, go back to Nick Ponzio real quick. What a great story he is. He's a story of determination and a guy who just never gave up. But Ponzio never won a national title in college. You know, was only runner-up at a conference meet. He went to USC, and there's Jordan Geist with his first attempt. But Ponzio competing on the world stage at the world level of Diamond League meets, and he's just a guy who just continued to fight for his spot on the world stage, and he's living his best life, throwing shot put with the rest of these guys in this group.
There's another look at Jordan Geist. That was ruled not past the line, and Chuk Enekwechi goes over the first one over 68 feet. So Chuk Enekwechi, 6th at the Paris Olympics, Nigerian national record holder, advancing in the World Shot Put Series.
Well, Chuk really stung the finish on that one. And again, these athletes know when they have a good throw and it leaves their hands.
Josh Awotunde short on that toss. So Awotunde with his first miss in this event. And that will bring us to Tripp Piperi. No misses yet for Tripp Piperi, your reigning U.S. indoor shot put champ. And that was short of the line. So the first miss of the event for Tripp. Here's another look at the ring.
He just didn't get any lift on this ball. He blasted his last make over 65 meters. That would have been good enough to make 68 meters, but he just that ball fell down to his thumb just a little bit, and he knew it.
We're going to crown the king of the ring, Roger Steen, in the circle, lets it fly, and clears it.
Wow. We'll talk about a guy answering the call. He gets a little bit of a close call on that last one, and he performs brilliantly on the next one.
And the footwork, he wasn't in that power zone, but man, there was plenty of power there.
Well, he gets his power from his speed as well, because again, he's not a super tall guy. Can't use his levers quite like Payton Otterdahl or Ryan Crouser, but it comes from the speed of him moving across that ring and that rotational speed.
Rajindra Campbell, Paris bronze medalist in the ring, lets it fly. And Rajindra is waiting for a signal, and it's good. Rajindra blasts past 68 feet on his first toss.
Well, and this is absolutely amazing, Brad, to have this many competitors go over 68 feet this early in the competition. And we talked about what is this going to do.
Payton Otterdahl looked a little off balance and gets the no good signal. First strike for Payton Otterdahl.
When you gamify the shot put, I think you're going to just see good, really good throws, execution here. I'm impressed. This is early season, and these guys are showing. This looks like late spring technique from a lot of these athletes. This is bringing out the best in everybody.
So Ryan Crouser in the ring, his third throw of this event. Looking to go beyond the 68 feet mark, and he does. First toss success for Ryan Crouser. And so we'll have the second tosses at 68 feet coming for 5 competitors, but here's Crouser.
Well, Ryan Crouser, you think about artists and prodigies that are brought up from a young age. Ryan Crouser is a throwing prodigy. His father threw, his uncle threw, both of his uncles. He's got cousins. Throwing is what they did in the Crouser family. And I got a chance to follow in the footsteps of Mitch Crouser, his father, who's at the University of Idaho years before I was there. But the legend of the Crousers lived on when I hit the University of Idaho. But Ryan chose not to go to the University of Oregon, but he went to the University of Texas and made a name for himself there. But he's one of these kids who we saw in the junior ranks, and then we saw him so well in the collegiate ranks, and here he is at the top of the heap at the world-class level.
Putting on this World Shot Put Series event. Second toss for Nick Ponzio. He's used his challenge flag. He needs to go beyond 68 feet, and he stepped out of the ring. It's going to be no good for Nick Ponzio. And so Ponzio, world ranking 22nd best shot putter in the world, is out here. As you see, he had to put a lot behind it.
Well, he really did, and as the line gets pushed out, these athletes are going to push themselves physically and mentally, and sometimes it's just too much to stay in that ring trying to put so much power on these throws.
So Jordan Geist, did he get enough? He did not. And so here comes a challenge flag from Jordan Geist. And Jordan Geist had some nice flair when he threw that challenge flag. Wanted to make sure everybody could see it.
Well, I think some NFL coaches should adopt that technique.
So Jordan Geist will step back into the ring, and he'll get one more opportunity at 68 feet.
Well, he's coached by a former Arizona State University NCAA champion Ryan Whiting at Arizona State. He's moved up from Tucson to Phoenix now, and he's training under somebody who I would call a master.
Jordan Geist lets it fly, throws it past, and he moves on. Geist advancing. Excellent style and excellent use of the challenge flag.
Well, and just look how much more solid he was on the challenge. Like I said, it's of a benefit for these guys to make the challenge call, make the challenge flag fly, and then get another opportunity to throw right away. This is not a waste of energy. These guys don't need rest. They want to go immediately so they can fix what went wrong.
Josh Awotunde, bronze medalist at the U.S. indoors, and now that may be wide left. And so Awotunde, his second foul, and he'll grab the challenge flag. Nothing to lose. Got to use the challenge flag.
But he certainly didn't throw that challenge flag very far. But yeah, he's going to get another opportunity to go right away. He knew it. He got some javelin technique up in there, but here goes Awotunde again.
2022 World Championships bronze medalist. Another attempt at 68 feet. And this is going to be short. So Joshua Awotunde unsuccessful at 68 feet. And we should mention too, Dan, each of these world-class athletes will be here in Des Moines at the Drake Relays and competing on Saturday as well.
Weather permitting.
Tripp Piperi, second attempt at 68 feet. He clears it, and he's pumped up.
Well, and the difference between a successful throw and an unsuccessful throw at this distance, 68 feet, can sometimes just be a few degrees of angle of release. And there you see Piperi. He got that angle of release up just a couple, and he knew he bombed it as soon as it left his hand.
So Payton Otterdahl, his second attempt at 68 feet. That is short. And so he heads towards the review flag. And he'll say, give me one more toss at 68 feet. Payton Otterdahl has had a fantastic year. It was a year ago here at the Drake Relays. His PR, 22:59 in terms of meters, was here at the team shot put showcase here inside the Drake Fieldhouse. Surprised himself when he threw a PR this early in the outdoor season. Otterdahl lets it fly. It's good. A successful toss all around for Otterdahl.
So Payton Otterdahl is one of those athletes who has figured out how to compete at the high level when it counts the most, and he's shown up to back-to-back Olympic trials and has got it done. It's so competitive in the United States in the shot put at the highest level. And maybe Ryan Crouser and Joe Kovacs have separated themselves. That only leaves one spot for another American. And Payton Otterdahl has figured out how to get that spot. And that sometimes when you're competing for one spot instead of 3, it can get really, really tense. And Payton Otterdahl just has done a wonderful job over the last few years of maintaining such a high level of ability.
And they will attempt 70 feet when we come back. More of the 2025 World Shot Put Series inaugural event here at the Drake Relays.
I love getting deals on anything, especially groceries. I love coming to Hy-Vee to get, the lowest price possible.
You want to have lower prices, but you don't really want to sacrifice quality. We want the high quality and the low price.
I haven't had to lose the quality or the freshness with the price drop at all.
I have noticed that with the prices at Hy-Vee being lower, that the quality is still there.
I go to Hy-Vee first because I know the prices are going to be down and the quality will be up there.
30 years ago, the internet was barely a thing. But the beginning of everything. At MediaCom, we've been here. Every single step, stride, and slide along the way. And for as much as the internet has changed, we've changed. The speed and size of our network, the performance of our technology, the scale and power of our security. Investing in the growth of our communities, and keeping you ready for what's next. See you there.
We get ready for approaches at the 70 feet mark. Right now, Stam Scarvelis is standing by with Nick Ponzio, who had a successful challenge here in the World Shot Put Series. Stam?
All righty, Nick, talk me through throwing the challenge flag and the strategy and what it meant and the energy behind winning that challenge flag.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. 60. So the way that these work is like you're not trying to throw as hard as you can for each line. So the first 2 lines, I'm kind of trying to dump it. And I thought it looked like it was over. So I was like, oh, that's easy, 65. And then they were like, no, it's not. And I'm like, oh my gosh, all right. So I got to throw my challenge early on, which kind of sucks. I wanted to throw it later. But still a fun time. Still a really good atmosphere to really throw in here and try to get this going. I'd love to see this grow. I'd love to get a few more cracks at it. But, as our throwers, we always want more, right?
Right. Well, as entertaining as always, we look forward to seeing you Saturday.
Absolutely. It's going to be even more entertaining. And I wish I could have given them more. That's kind of the problem is that I didn't get to clear too many lines. So I wanted to clear more to kind of, I think I was going to try to jump in the stands and everything.
Oh, my. Well, we might need to save that for the next competition or around this time next year.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the big thing is you want to do that kind of stuff when it really matters. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, thank you, Nick, and we look forward to seeing you Saturday.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, if you can find your way inside Drake Stadium on Saturday, do it, especially if Nick Ponzio is going to jump into the crowd.
Well, Nick Ponzio, he's such a popular guy. He's just such a character as well. Last 2 seasons, I don't see him this year, but last 2 seasons he wore the fanny pack, and he said individually he was bringing that fanny pack back into fashion.
So Jordan Geist will be the first of 7 athletes to try and throw beyond the 70-foot line. They've taken 68 feet off of the pads here at the Drake Fieldhouse. And a first at 70 feet, just under for Jordan Geist. And Geist has used his challenge flag, so he'll get just 1 more attempt here at the 70-foot mark. Here's another look.
Well, Jordan Geist finished in the absolute toughest position at the Olympic trials, and that's 4th place. But he's young. He's just a couple years removed from college, so he's got a lot of good years of throwing ahead of him. But this is where things get tough. 70 feet. We're talking Olympic finals. We're talking World Championship finals if you can throw this far.
Chuk Enekwechi, that last competitor to let it fly. And so Tripp Piperi to compete. Missed on his first attempt at 68, but then cleared on his second attempt by a long shot, and he's given it his all.
Well, I'm telling you what, if there's going to be an upset today, if there is going to be an upset of Ryan Crouser today, it could very well be Tripp Piperi. He's moving so well. That's a 73-foot throw right there. Piperi looks solid. He now lives in Corvallis, Washington. He's getting coached by the great Dave Dumbo, and he absolutely is on fire today.
And he loves the energy, too. That U.S. indoor shot put champ, it was a round 6 winner. Put the pressure on, get him pumped up. And Steen likes what he sees. So Roger Steen advancing with power.
Well, look at Roger Steen. Look at this guy's build. Doesn't he look like he should be competing in a strongman competition? So powerfully built. And again, as soon as it left his hand, big yell, big throw, and a great reaction to the crowd.
So Rajindra Campbell to let it fly. Two-time Jamaican national champ. Record holder of Jamaica's indoor and outdoor marks. Again, the bronze medalist in Paris in the shot put. His first attempt at 70 feet. The screen was there, the throw was there. Wow. 70 feet, no problem for Campbell.
Well, and Mike J., our esteemed announcer, just called it. He said, game on. And I have to try to think back on how many athletes I've ever seen in a single competition throw over 70 feet. This is getting really interesting.
Otterdahl, a successful toss. And Otterdahl had 2 misses at 68, but used his challenge. And even maybe a little off balance here. What do you see?
You know, he didn't really get his weight shifted over to the left-hand side. And when he came out of the back, I thought, uh-oh, he's in trouble. He's a bigger, taller guy. He's got to keep those feet underneath him just a little bit better. But a nice throw by Otterdahl to keep things really even fresher.
So Ryan Crouser attempt to number 1 at 70 feet. Yes, 70 and a half on that one.
Well, wait a minute. Ryan Crouser's wife is out there officiating, and her hands went up pretty dang quick. Her hands, I don't even know if that shot put landed before her hands went up. There we take a look at Ryan Crouser. He's so solid. He's just a fantastic technician.
And there you see Megan Clark.
There you go.
His wife.
Boom.
That was good.
Up.
That was good. So 5 athletes successful on their first attempt at 70 feet. Back in the ring is Jordan Geist. Attempt number 2. And just short. That'll be it for Jordan Geist. What a performance. Used his challenge flag at 68 feet and just about cleared 70 feet.
Well, and he's got a long weekend ahead of him. Jordan Geist, I heard somebody else, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we will see him tomorrow in the men's hammer and then again on Saturday. But what a competitor, guys. Those are some solid throws. Nice sequence of events for him.
And so an unsuccessful toss for Chuk Enekwechi, and the challenge flag is thrown through the legs. And Chuk will get another attempt here at 70 feet. So you talk about these athletes could be like a strongman competition, maybe an NFL center.
Well, and what's interesting, I guarantee you at some point in their career, an NFL agent, a college coach has approached these athletes and said, hey, son, come play some offensive line for me. Come play some defensive line for me. These guys are athletes. They can run. They can jump. They're powerful. And what's interesting, what I remember seeing these guys in the weight room, at a collegiate weight room, they're the strongest guys on campus. And so when they power clean, when they squat, everybody stops and watches.
So Chuk Enekwechi, world ranking number 6, trying to advance to 71 feet. Ooh. And just short for Chuk after the challenge. Round of applause, and Enekwechi, he'll be back here with the Drake crowd on Saturday as we have 5 athletes that will advance. 71 feet is the goal when we return.
My name is Brant Mayberry. I'm the Director of Health and Wellness for Doctors Now. Weight loss drugs are all the rage these days, but who monitors them? At Doctors Now, our medical weight loss program is monitored by board-certified physicians. A comprehensive approach including expert nutrition and fitness support. You lose weight the right way. Real doctors, real results, real health care. Start today at doctorsnow.com.
It's our 67th anniversary, and it's our biggest sale of the year.
Yes, I know, Uncle Paul.
Have you?
Yes, we have factory direct incentives for our customers.
Have you?
Yes. Our showrooms are stocked, full-size window displays, beautiful siding options, and stunning all-season sunroofs.
Have you?
Paul, yes.
Angela, have you seen my tackle box?
Yes. No, wait, what?
Angela, you got this. I'm going fishing.
Call, click, or stop in today for the biggest sale of the year. Midwest Construction. Quality products, quality installations since 1958.
The inaugural event of the World Shot Put Series continues here inside historic Drake Fieldhouse in Des Moines, Iowa. They are marking 71 feet, the new goal, as we have 5 athletes that have competed. And standing by with our own Stam Scarvelis is Jordan Geist. Just eliminated, a couple of misses at 70 feet, but his week is far from over. Stam?
Jordan, this is just the first stop in the entire weekend you have. Talk to me about how today went and also what we're looking forward to the rest of the week.
You know, I think today was just about having fun. It was a really cool concept that we all got to kind of take a part of with a really great crowd here. So really cool just to kind of do something a little different in the sport. Pretty refreshing, but now time to concentrate on hammer tomorrow and shot put on Saturday.
Roger Steen, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan, thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing you the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stam. And thank you, Jordan, for joining us as we move on to 71 feet. And Dan, we have Roger Steen and Ryan Crouser tied for first. No misses for either athlete yet. And we'll get started with Tripp Piperi. Has 1 miss so far here in our competition.
Well, but I'll tell you what, after that miss, he has just looked fantastic, really solid in his positioning. Nice speed, nice tempo, and he's bringing the energy. You know, and if I'm Tripp Piperi's coach and I'm telling him, look, you don't have to change anything from the last throw to this throw. It doesn't require more effort. Give me the same throw, and you're going to sail the line.
2023, Drake runner-up in 2022. He made his first world team. And that was really, really close. And we're going to bring the chains out here for throw number 1 on Tripp Piperi. This is 71 feet. An interesting, Tripp Piperi, quite the interesting story as well. He said he almost retired, started having doubts of, man, can I keep doing this physically, right? It's tough. Mentally, it's tough. Last year and a half, a new coach, moved from Texas to Oregon, and his first toss here is good, and Tripp Piperi now pumping up the crowd.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is tough going to the next level, and Tripp Piperi is one of those athletes who really competed a lot while he was at the University of Texas. He helped his team win an NCAA indoor title, a men's team, and that was the first for the Texas Longhorns on the men's side in a long time, and this guy was a team leader. Here you see his energy. But, you know, you got to make up your mind if this is the lifestyle you want, if you want to continue to work hard each and every day, and it's tough in the shot put because you got to work, rain or shine.
So in the ring, Roger Steen lets it fly. He likes it, and we're going to bring the chains out, and now Roger feeling, boy, did I just miss it? We got a lot of marks out there around this 71 feet line.
Well, and just like Tripp Piperi, this landed, I think the majority of the ball landed on the north side of that line. Maybe not quite as far as Tripp, but this is going to be close.
That's good to me, right? That's a good throw for Roger Steen as he stays perfect in our competition. And here's oh, he didn't get the good signal right away. Felt like he missed it, and then after review, he's pumped.
And just like he could flip a light switch. Oh, bummer. Now he's in. You can make this on your first attempt. Like Steen, like Piperi, it's going to put you in an advantage position here and force the rest of the guys maybe to dig down, maybe to press a little bit later in this lineup.
Rajindra Campbell just 1 miss. That was back at the 65 feet mark. And lets it fly there. And just short here on attempt number 1 at 71.
Well, Rajindra Campbell, the first Jamaican to ever win a medal at the Olympic Games. And he qualified just by a centimeter or two in a competition that really mattered. He was selected onto that Paris team, and he comes away with a medal.
Payton Otterdahl was right behind him at the Olympic Games, finished 4th and just short on his first attempt at 71 feet. And so Ryan Crouser into the ring and still in the driver's seat alongside Roger Steen. They got pretty quiet. He said, let's make some noise.
Well, and I think this crowd is really respecting what these athletes want, and they waited till he gave them the signal. But Crouser, no spring chicken, continues to throw far when it counts the most. And he'll come up short, his first miss of the competition here.
And so we have 2 that have advanced here at the 71 feet mark, Tripp Piperi and Roger Steen. And we'll have second attempts coming for Rajindra Campbell, Payton Otterdahl, and Ryan Crouser. And so into the ring goes Rajindra Campbell. So needing 71 feet to get a shot at throwing over the 72-foot marker. Coming up next, Campbell, a good toss, but it does not have enough distance. And Campbell goes to his challenge flag and throws it up in the air.
Well, I was mistaken because I thought Ryan Crouser was the only athlete that had a challenge left.
And Roger Steen is not challenged yet. And they say Rajindra does have a challenge left. So now we get a challenge here. Did Tripp use a challenge?
I think he did. I believe that he did. But there we get a chance to see the shot puts. Everybody brings their own individual shot put. Everybody, they come in different sizes, different circumferences. Certainly there, and everybody has a favorite, and he wanted to wait till his shot put came in. But there you see on the bottom row, those are the indoor shot puts. They are plastic filled with shot, but there you see the steel ones, and we're throwing steel balls inside onto a nice padded area out there. So it's a little bit different than the normal indoor competition that you'll see.
So Rajindra Campbell, the Jamaican record holder, bronze medalist at the Paris Games. Another attempt at 71 feet. And he advances. Oh, Campbell moves on.
Talk about a clutch throw there by Rajindra Campbell. He's so much more balanced. He had a nice line, and oh my gosh, that's over 72 feet. If he could throw another one like that, he could win this competition. But talk about coming through when you needed to. Campbell with a big throw.
So Payton Otterdahl, his second attempt, looking for 71. And a delayed reaction here. Oh, they want the change. Payton Otterdahl calling for some noise. He's feeling it. He feels like this is good.
Well, and you saw his reaction. As soon as it left his hand, he thought it was good enough, and that looks really good to me. We've seen some other challenges a little bit closer to the line. I'm a little surprised there, though, that Megan Clark there not throwing her hands up right away. Like, come on, Red.
Upon measurement, Payton Otterdahl advances. We have 4 athletes that will be competing at the 72 feet mark. Ryan Crouser yet to be a part of that group and steps into the ring here. Second attempt at 71 feet. 3-time Olympic champion. Gold medalist in Paris. And the hat is off, Dan. And short on attempt number 2 here of 71 feet. And here comes the challenge flag. And Dan, we were talking to Ryan earlier, and he's like, I feel like I'm 30% event manager, 30% promoter, and 40% athlete. I'm going to have to get locked in here for these throws.
Well, that's a tough thing when you are putting a program like this together. Your attention is on how it goes out. This is kind of like the bride on her wedding day. You want the bride to enjoy the moment, but they're worried about, you know, what everybody else is thinking about. But no, Ryan has shown great focus, and this is a successful event. But it's a little bit early in the season for him as well. We don't see his best throws till we get into May and June. And this is a little bit of an abbreviated start for him too. He doesn't seem to be moving as well out of the back as we've normally seen him.
Ryan Crouser, third attempt at 71. And short on the throw at 71 feet after the challenge. So Ryan Crouser out of the World Shot Put Series competition. Who will win it? 72 feet is the goal when we come back here in Drake Fieldhouse in Des Moines, Iowa.
You are beautifully unique, unapologetically academic. You're not afraid to color outside the lines, and neither are we. Imagine yourself here in modern labs designed for 21st century students. Drake is a university with a vibrant capital city right next door, where you get a degree that gets employers' attention. This is Drake University, where you will stand out from day one. Learn more at drake.edu.
You ask for high-performance extreme internet at an all-in guaranteed price. And we listen. Get extreme 1 gig internet with a 2-year price lock. And all the sides included. Unlimited data for non-stop streaming, gaming, and working. Powerful Wi-Fi for enhanced coverage and reliability. Packed with online threat protection and cutting-edge equipment. All for just $65 a month for 2 years. It's the 1 gig internet deal you asked for. Call 844-EXTREME4 for details.
Welcome back to the World Shot Put Series as we have 4 athletes remaining as Paris gold medalist Ryan Crouser just eliminated, unable to get 71 feet, but he's been busy this week, and Stam Scarvelis is standing by with the Olympic gold medalist. Stam?
Ryan, talk to me a little bit about how it feels seeing this come into fruition and being in the moment and what it means to you to compete and feel the energy.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. The crowd has been awesome, and yeah, anytime you do something like this where you're just bringing an idea out with, seeing it come to life is such a special feeling. The athlete in me wish I had thrown a little bit better, but the meet promoter portion and business executive and everything else I've been with this is super happy with it. No, the event's been great. Huge thank you to the people that came out, to the athletes that came out, because they're coming out to help grow the sport. So really, really happy with it, and I really think the format engaged the crowd. I mean, you don't usually see people cheering for a 65-foot throw like that. So yeah, kind of trying to capture the energy and enthusiasm that goes into the event. I think you saw that. We had 5 guys over 70 feet, which with this format is crazy. In a normal comp, that's phenomenal. And so in a round-by-round format, the guys really overachieved. So I think that's a testament to the atmosphere and the energy that we had. So it has me really excited for the future of WSPS.
It's hard to do everything all at once, but I can totally attest to the energy in here. Ryan, thank you so much. And as a thrower myself, thank you for what you've done for the sport.
Thank you. Yeah, I just tried to put a career's worth of throwing knowledge and frustrations. So yeah, things that I've seen that could have been improved on throughout the throwing world and track and field. So that's what WSPS has kind of been birthed from, is just some of the pains that we've had as field athletes. So I'm really happy with how that has shown that field events can be highlighted and they can be front and center, that we have a loud, enthusiastic crowd out here just for a field event, is a testament that, it doesn't have to be just track. It can be just field.
Well said. Well, we'll see how the rest of this comp turns out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stam, and thank you, Ryan, for putting this together. This has been awesome.
Well, and mission accomplished. Ryan said we wanted to see an event that gave the crowd instant feedback, and here he's totally accomplished that. You see the line set out there, and the athletes are stepping up.
4 athletes remain. They are attempting to throw beyond 72 feet. First toss for Tripp Piperi is short, and so a miss for Tripp Piperi on attempt 1 at 72 feet. And so Roger Steen will be next up. You see just short, and that's a great throw, but it's just not beyond the 72 feet mark.
Yeah, when it left his hand, I thought it's got a chance. It's got a chance. The Piperi has looked solid all day long.
So Roger Steen still no misses in the entire competition, and his first miss comes here at 72 feet. A foul on both short and outside the ring. I think early on he stepped out.
Yeah, it looked like I was going to
yeah.
say it looked like that left foot kind of slid out of the ring. But that's what happens when the distance gets pushed out there and you start really reaching back, trying to find that power, doing something just a little bit extra, speeding up, getting out of the back a little quicker than you normally would. You got to get your timing together all that much better when it comes time to release that ball.
So Rajindra Campbell, his first attempt at 72 feet. And steps beyond the ring. The great toss. They asked for the measurement, but a foul in the ring on Campbell will go down as a miss. He'll get one more attempt. And Payton Otterdahl, our fourth and final competitor here at 72 feet. There you see Campbell just couldn't keep it all in the ring. And now Otterdahl lets it fly. That comes up short. And 72 feet is a very long distance. And Dan, once we get to this mark, this is where you start to look at, okay, how many misses have these athletes have? As Roger Steen came into this round with no misses and is your front runner here to win the inaugural World Shot Put Series. All 4 athletes, they'll get a second toss.
Yeah, if Tripp Piperi wants to win this thing, he's got to get a clearance.
Looking for 72 feet, and that is short. And for Tripp Piperi, guess what, Dan? He can go to that challenge flag, and he is.
And he's made some great adjustments throughout this competition. We saw a miss by him early on in this competition. He amended that, made a little bit of a change, and he's come back really, really strong as he waits for his shot put to come back in. Interesting how, what happened to good old-fashioned human horsepower? Bringing those shot puts back 100 feet in an electronic cart. But no, Tripp Piperi, he's somebody who I liked him early on in this competition because he really has looked on with his technique all day long. Let's see if he can make an adjustment, make the right correction to the technique here.
All right, speaking of human horsepower, take a look at Tripp Piperi here. Final attempt at 72 feet. He likes it, he likes it, he wants it. We're gonna get a measurement. Piperi likes it.
And this is gonna be close. Let's take a look at it. Good, stable position there on the finish. Ooh.
That looks good, and it is. After further measurement, Tripp Piperi successful at 72 feet.
Well, that's the throw that could very well win it for Piperi. Roger Steen was a couple feet short of that line on his first attempt, but Piperi, I thought if he could get a make here, if he could clear that distance here, it could be enough to win this competition.
So Roger Steen, your silver medalist at the 2025 World Indoors in China. He was silver medalist at U.S. Indoors to Tripp Piperi. Here's his second toss for 72 feet. And that is short. And that is Steen's second miss. And guess who has a challenge flag left? They got to put a little more sand or something in those flags, right? I feel like they could really let them fly.
And this is a shot put competition, and those are golf ball size. It's like, yeah, come on. We got to weight those things down a little bit.
So Roger Steen will get a third attempt at 72 feet. It worked for Tripp Piperi. Will it work for Roger Steen?
It's all about adjustments. And so it's interesting here in the field events nowadays, these athletes can get instant feedback. They can watch video immediately following an attempt. They can make the adjustment. Can Roger Steen make the adjustments now to stay in this competition?
Roger Steen looking to advance alongside Tripp Piperi. Steen lets it fly, stays in the ring, and it's good. Steen is moving on. So we'll have two athletes at least at 73 feet. And we got two more to attempt at 72.
That's not the best technique I've seen all day. Roger Steen is all over the ring on that, but that is just pure power, and he clears the line with room to spare. That's intensity. That's the crowd bringing him up a level.
So Rajindra Campbell has used his challenge flag already. So his final attempt to clear 72 feet is coming right here for the Olympic bronze medalist in Paris. Campbell can't stay in the ring. The throw was far enough, but he stepped out of the foul, and a big way to go out. Rajindra Campbell, a big toss, but is eliminated.
Well, that was a big throw. Just his directional forces just took him right through the front of the ring, but that's what's going to happen in the rotational shot put here. But a nice competition for the Olympic bronze medalist, and it was a countback. He was tied for second in that Olympic competition, and it was a countback to the next best throw with Joe Kovacs.
So Payton Otterdahl, his final attempt. No challenge flags remain for Payton Otterdahl, and that is short of 72 feet. And so we have two athletes that will head to 73 feet. More of the World Shot Put Series to come from Des Moines, Iowa. This Wednesday night throws night. Getting ready for the Thursday night throws night portion inside historic Drake Fieldhouse here in 2025.
Dear future, we're on a mission to make small-town America bigger than anyone ever dreamed. We know you're coming for us fast and that you can easily change the tech game overnight. That's why at MediaCom, we're always pushing the limits, increasing speeds, improving reliability, working around the clock to monitor the health and security of our network. We're on a mission, and we'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. Sincerely, MediaCom.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
Two athletes remained here at the World Shot Put Series as your U.S. gold and silver medalists are the last two men standing here. Both successfully through beyond the 72 feet mark. You have Roger Steen, he's the leader, just two misses for him, and Tripp Piperi with three misses. So he's going to need to clear an extra distance that Roger Steen does not. And they're attempting 73 feet, Dan.
Well, and I got a chance to just talked to Tripp Piperi in between throws here, and he looked at me and said, Roger just had to throw that, didn't he? He just had to make it. I was like, come on, man, nothing's easy. But if successful, even though these are not official personal best, but if successful, these would be the farthest throws that either one of these athletes had ever accomplished.
Yeah, this event, not certified. They're not measuring each toss like you would think typically a shot put competition. All 6 that you don't have a foul in the ring, you get a measurement on all of them. This one is just king of the ring, last man standing, and it's a battle for the belt. Tripp Piperi looking for 73 feet. And just short. Felt great about it as Tripp's personal best, 71 feet 4 inches. That had to be right there with that personal best.
Well, look at the flight here. It's inside the tape line. He wants it pretty bad. And he looked like he had a little bit of a hard time staying in the ring on that particular throw as well, but he's been so solid all day long. He's reaching down. He's trying to find something left in the well, and these guys have taken quite a few throws apiece.
So Roger Steen, his first attempt at 73 feet. He wants it. He wants it. They're going to bring the chains out. Roger Steen likes it. Dan, the crowd really liked it when it hit the mat.
Well, Roger's thrown down the middle. He's thrown down the left. He's thrown down the right side. His technique's kind of been all over the place today, but just displaying enormous power at his release point. And look at that, right directly into the middle of the tape.
Oh, that is tight, and it is good. Oh, the first attempt at 73 feet. And Roger Steen, unofficially, that would be a new personal best.
Well, and he said early on in the competition that he was generating so much force that the ring was moving on the turf. They've had to put weights now surrounding it, but that is an enormous amount of forces that man is moving around. See, now what's interesting is Tripp Piperi, even if he achieves this mark, he can't win the competition. I would even consider passing to 74 feet at this point. But this is a new competition.
You one toss.
That's
a good
these
point.
Athletes are not
That's
familiar
a good
with
point.
that.
Tripp Piperi looking to throw beyond 73 feet. Oh, he does it. He does it. A successful toss at 73. How about that? Let's go to 74.
Well, like I said, Tripp Piperi has been so solid in his technique all day long. Maybe he overstepped that left side on his release. But what a nice job. You could just see the power and the forces generated all goes into the shot put in a clearance. This one didn't hit the line. Tripp Piperi did not hit the line on that one. Roger Steen did. I think Piperi has a little bit more left in the tank.
All right, they were medalists at the 2025 Indoor World Championships, and now they'll battle it out for the World Shot Put Series.
When Omega Garage Doors first started out, our mission was to create lasting relationships with our customers through trust. It's a trust built through honesty. It's our service technicians fixing what's wrong instead of selling you on something you don't need. It's our guarantee that you won't be oversold. Trust isn't just a word for Omega Garage Doors, it's the only way to do business. So if you're having problems with your garage door or opener, give us a call. We're eager to earn your trust.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and if you have an old inefficient wood fireplace, we need to talk. Heat and Glow has some great retrofit inserts to convert that old drafty wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace. A Heat and Glow gas insert will give you high efficiency, it will give you ease of operations, and it will give you enough warmth to take the edge off a cold winter's night. For the best in gas inserts, come see us at Fireplace Superstore today.
All right, they finished putting the line out for 74 feet as As we hear from Stam Scarvelis, who is standing by with our two. No, we're going to get ready right to the ring here. Let's go right to the ring. 74 feet. All right, Dan, we already talked about unofficially this would be new personal best for both, but this is your U.S. gold and silver medalist at indoor championships. At the world, it was silver and bronze for Roger and Tripp. So they've gone back and forth already this year. Tripp, right, gold medalist at U.S., bronze medalist at the indoors. Roger got the win at world indoors.
Well, and so I think from a distance standpoint, this is a little bit surprising. 2 feet farther than Tripp has ever thrown before if he can achieve this. But these were the two guys. Woo. But these are two guys who were the best, two of the best throwers in the world indoors, and they just take that same fitness, they take that same form into the outdoor competition. Look at Tripp Piperi. He's just on another level right now. You know, when you figure his personal best is just under 72 feet, he's gone above and beyond the challenge today. And I think this is the kind of an event. He'll come away with this with a ton of confidence. He'll come away with this knowing that he can compete at the highest level with the likes of Ryan Crouser and Joe Kovacs.
How much does the crowd like this enhance what these athletes are able to do?
Well, when you get in a situation where you're being appreciated, and that's what's going on here. The crowd is with you. You never feel alone. Now it's just about execution and let the applause fly.
Roger Steen, first toss at 74, steps out of the ring. The toss is short. And that's just the third miss of the entire event for Roger Steen, who is in the lead. Neither Tripp nor Roger have a challenge flag left to use. So it comes down to this final throw, and Tripp is the one that needs to throw it for the title.
Yeah, if both athletes miss at this distance, then Roger Steen would be the winner. Tripp Piperi needs to get a successful throw here.
Yeah, Tripp Piperi has 5 failed attempts so far, 5 misses. Roger Steen just 3 so far. That includes their first round here at 74 feet. So Tripp Piperi asking for help. Piperi with the toss steps out of the ring, and man, what a night for Tripp Piperi.
Well, and this is the kind of competition that I think could really change the fortunes of a young man like Tripp Piperi. He could lead this competition again with so much confidence. It's going to be interesting to see him throw on Saturday out there in the main stadium. I'm excited to see what happens with him. You think about it, he almost contemplated not continuing his career as a shot putter, and if there's any verification on if he's on the right path, this certainly is it.
And how about the sportsmanship? It's a brotherhood, right? These throwers, they know each other at all these events. Tripp knows that Roger is going to be the champion of the inaugural World Shot Put Series, but he will take his second throw and try and throw beyond 74 feet here inside Drake Fieldhouse. Lets it fly, and oh so close, but just shy. And there's your champion, Roger Steen, your World Indoor Silver medalist, wins the inaugural World Shot Put Series competition.
Well, all evening long, he's been answering the call. He's been stepping up and answering the bell. And there you see Ryan Crouser pass the belt on a Roger Steen. Mike J called him a grinder, and he was a grinder tonight, and he got it done. And a fantastic stage.
Roger Steen wins the battle for the belt. And standing by with our own Stam Scarvelis. Stam?
Roger, how are we feeling after that epic?
I'm a little tired.
How fatigued are you? I heard you mentioned to Ryan right before that. Yeah, I'm feeling a little tired. And then you go and produce that final round.
Oh, well, coach puts me in a good spot. I got heavy in the weight room and got a big base right now, so I got to take advantage. And And competition's competition. It's a great atmosphere here. All the energy came out, and it's super fun.
Roger, it's great to see you on top. Any final thoughts on the competition layout and what this means going into the Saturday competition for you?
I'm pretty excited for Saturday. We've had a couple good practices leading up to it and everything else, and I'm a little tired today, but I'll get a rest the next couple days, and I'm very excited for Saturday. It should be a great competition. I love coming down to Drake.
Yeah, Roger, you said today was a little bit like a practice. You normally throw 2 days out. This might be a little exaggerated practice, but we look forward to seeing the performance you put on Saturday.
Perfect. I can't wait. Yes, I'll probably have to sleep a little bit extra just because it was a little high intense practice, but I mean, I love to compete, and it's such a great time.
You put on a show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This, Dan, 11 throws for Roger Steen in this competition. That's a heavy lift.
Well, and Jordan Geist told me in the hotel lobby today that he didn't want to probably take more than 8 or 9 throws. So that's a little bit out of his comfort zone. And Roger said as he got towards the end of this competition, he was feeling a little bit of the fatigue, but he says he's excited to get a couple days rest and come out here and perform at a high level on Saturday.
And Tripp Piperi, the runner-up, he made 13 throws in that competition. All of these world-class athletes, Dan, will be in Des Moines. They will stay here through Saturday. The elite shot put competition Saturday afternoon starts just after 2 o'clock.
Well, and Tripp Piperi, he's operating on a little bit of a younger chassis, the younger frame, and I think he's able to take a few more throws, and he may be able to recover just a little bit quicker than somebody like Roger Steen for Saturday's comp.
All right, and Stam has our runner-up here of the World Shot Put Series as Tripp Piperi had a work day, 13 throws tonight as he clears 73 feet, a huge PR for Tripp Piperi, our runner-up.
Tripp, as you just said, you are, quote-unquote, so tired.
Yeah.
How are we feeling right now?
Incredible. I just got a lifetime PR by 2 feet. In the inaugural World Shot Put Series, I cleared 73 feet. I'm unbelievably happy. I could do it with my very, very close friends, Roger, and we just kept going back and forth. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're
Not
good.
to cut you off, how much does it mean being with Roger, knowing you guys just got back from World Indoor Championships, both medaling?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
It's amazing. We've been very close for a while. We talk all the time, so being able to do this with him, we always like going at it in meets. I mean, it's just, you can't really ask for more.
And I heard, I cut you off right before, I think you were going to talk on the crowd and what that meant to you.
The crowd was amazing, like genuinely. I was just telling the other gentleman over here interviewing me a second ago that this is at the tippy top of one of the best crowds, most exciting meets I've genuinely ever been at. I mean, the crowd was getting super rowdy, getting into it. We were all having an amazing time. Every single throw over there, by the end of the first round, we hadn't even thrown yet, by the 50-foot line, we were like, this is amazing. Like, this is something truly special.
Tripp, best of luck. Please recover before Saturday, and we look forward to seeing it.
Thank you.
Stam, thank you very much. Tripp Piperi, runner-up. Roger Steen, your champion of the 2025 World Shot Put Series. Dan, this was fun.
It really was. Thank you. You did an awesome job. But here you get a chance to see the fruits of their labors. These athletes get a chance to mingle and mix with some of the crowd and some of the people that came out to watch them. And you know what? Just every now and then you want to see what it's like to be Noah Lyles. And tonight these athletes got the spotlight, center stage, and they deserve it.
An awesome event. As we say goodnight for Stam Scarvelis and Dan O'Brien, I am Brad Wells. Thanks for joining us for the inaugural event, the World Shot Put Series, launched here at the Drake Relays inside historic Drake Fieldhouse. All these athletes will be back in Des Moines competing Saturday afternoon at the Drake Relays. Thank you, Ryan Crouser, for organizing this event as Roger Steen wins it all in an exciting atmosphere and World Shot Put Series competition.